All right, what's up, everybody? It's your favorite motivator from afar, Mike Mallery with the Motivational Jumpstart. I'm here with the legend, the incredible Dr. Marc Lamont Hill. How you doing, sir?
I'm good, brother.
Yo, how was your experience here at UConn? Thank you for coming. I mean, you lit fire, as you always do. But what inspired? This is the book, Nobody. What is your driving force? What inspires you? And then just talk a little bit about the book and what inspired the book.
First of all, I was excited and honored that UConn invited me.
Absolutely.
It was a great experience. I had a good time. And to engage so many students who are thinking seriously about these issues matter to me.
Absolutely.
You know, the book, Nobody, for me was an opportunity to intervene in a public conversation, to offer a piece of public scholarship, to take seriously what it means to be vulnerable in America.
Right.
Because of the economy, because of state violence, because of broken courts, etc. And I think as we celebrate Dr. King today, the challenge for me is to think about how Dr. King's legacy can be understood as a project toward freedom, but also, equally important, I think, to think about how Dr. King's legacy and the tradition out of which he comes can be used as a model for how we can engage in new forms of resistance. Doesn't mean we do everything they did, but there are examples and models. So my passion is trying to engage audiences in ways that leave them feeling like they can do something and leave them wanting to leave this room and engage the world in a way that's transformative, and also to remind myself that there's so much work to do that I have to do.
Right. So what keeps you humbled? I mean, I've definitely been a fan of yours, but what keeps you humbled knowing that you're walking in purpose, your life, your legacy, but also, I've seen interviews where you say it's funny, a lot of your students at Morehouse, they're registered thinking that, it's just about the celebrity, and you add a lot of books, but what keeps you humble in the sense of, I think something I've learned from you is it doesn't have to be either or, it can be either and. And I think that's kind of where you have a great balance. So kind of what keeps you humble in that regard, to keep the fight, but also to
the difference between me and people who are on the wrong side of the equation, the wrong side of American democracy, the underside of the economy, the vulnerable, it's not that I'm just so much more talented or so much, more industrious. A lot of it was good luck. A lot of it was that somebody sacrificed for me, or somebody prayed for me, or somebody got caught when I didn't. It was pure luck.
Yeah, for sure.
And so knowing that keeps me from thinking that I'm above the crowd, that I'm better than everybody else. I'm just a brother trying to make it like everybody else. And I know that I'm one mistake or one stroke of bad luck or one illness away from being vulnerable too.
Absolutely.
So I can never move too far ahead. I was told a long time ago by one of my mentors, Greg Demetriadis, he said, you got to run your own race, right? Don't look at, otherwise you end up looking ahead of you and getting bitter, or looking behind you and getting arrogant.
That's powerful.
I just try and run my race.
So the last thing I have, because I know you're a busy man who has to be on air tonight, what would you say just to the state of just, what we're going into this new election? A lot of people are vulnerable. A lot of people have no idea what to do. Blacks, whites, especially, and there was protests here, just undocumented. So what would you say just, I guess, as a...
It's time to fight.
Sentiment.
It's time to fight, We say come down and fight. And in the West African tradition, right? It's time to come down and fight. Under the Obama presidency, we needed to wrestle with economic injustice, global imperialism.
Absolutely.
The Obama empire was not a interruption to injustice. It was a more polished form. That's not to say everything President Obama did was wrong, but we had work to do.
Yeah, for sure.
I think what the Trump presidency shows us is that where we thought we may have been, post-racial, post-this, post-that, was an absolute myth.
Yeah, absolutely.
And an artifact of that mythology, I think, is Trump getting smuggled in right in front of us and becoming president. So I think right now, as people are watching this presidency and saying, oh my God, what happened? Where's our nation going? Now's the time not to feel bad about ourselves, not to feel angry or hopeless, but to say, let's fight. Let's struggle. Let's build together. Let's work. And I think Dr. King's legacy offers us something in that way.
Right. And I guess the very, very, very last one. I know you mentioned on one of the broadcasts that you did, you talked about, voting. You supported Jill Stein. Yeah. So, and I know you say, well, in the abstract, I think it might have been with Charlemagne, and you said, well, in the abstract, maybe you conceded the point that, maybe the Green Party wouldn't do this election unless everybody would vote.
No, in the concrete.
Yeah.
It was very. I didn't think. As a surrogate for Jill Stein, I didn't think she was going to win the presidency. No.
But I know you said you wanted, and you kind of mentioned a little bit of that in your speech. But America, you have a bigger a bigger dream than that. You say we can afford to lose election, but we can't afford to lose our values.
That's exactly right. And when I say we can afford to lose elections, that doesn't mean that things aren't at stake. That real lives are at stake.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah.
What it means though is we have to fight for a vision bigger than the moment.
Right.
I didn't disagree with people who did vote swaps, who did strategic balloting so that they could vote for Hillary, but also get Green Party votes targeted in certain states.
Right.
I didn't oppose that. I never did, despite what people say. I am committed to watching the Green Party expand.
For sure.
But more importantly than the Green Party, I'm committed to watching a viable alternative to a two-party system that has not yielded justice for me.
Yeah, for sure. Well, Dr. Hill, I definitely appreciate you. And just any last words for Dr. King Day and just of hope for folks?
Keep struggling, keep fighting. Nobody's perfect, but we're perfect for this moment. You know, look at this brother. He works hard, doctoral student. Pledge Sigma. He made a big mistake, but he's still working as hard as he can to make justice, man. I appreciate you, brother.
I appreciate you.